I'd go and visit all of my scout teams. One of my scout teams was with Battle Company. It was Staff Sergeant Rugel's team. So I spent some time in the Korengal there in July, late July, and did several patrols with them. You know, it's Korengal, as has been documented in the movie Restrepo and in the movie Korengal. Interesting place. I mean, firefights almost daily. You know, even while you're out at the outpost, you're getting shot at, and you're in tents that aren't concrete. At least at the time I was there, they started to build more fortified places for folks to sleep. But certainly an interesting place to be. And my scouts were doing great work there. And we patrolled, and we usually provide overwatch while other units, so other platoons or sections, would go out and do patrols. One of the first, I guess it was probably a couple days into my visit there, we went and patrolled and went over kind of a spur. That spur ended up becoming what was OP Restrepo. At the time, there was nothing there. And we were in an overwatch position that day. It was the 22nd of July when Restrepo was shot, evacuated, and ultimately ended up dying. And it was a firefight that was memorable for me as well, because we, again, one of these times where started to get shot at, both the unit below where the platoon, which Restrepo was the medic for, as well as our scout team, were both being fired at. They had seen us up in the overwatch position. And again, you hear the snaps of the bullets. We took cover. We took cover on the downside of a hill, and I was kind of huddled behind a rock, trying to make sure that I didn't get shot, and trying to look for where we were taking fire from and make sure we still had overwatch of the units below. I remember after I had taken cover behind the rock, I was again with the scout team, Staff Sergeant Rugel and that entire team, great team. But I turned around and we were on the backside of this hill, like I said, on the downslope, and smartly they had moved to the other side of the hill. Not a far walk, probably 25 meters. But I had been focused on looking for where we're taking fire from and huddling behind this rock. I hadn't seen them move. So I turned around and there's nobody there. I'm like, what the hell? Where did my scout team go? That was a pretty interesting and scary. At the time, it probably just didn't register enough to really be scary experience. Immediately, though, I kind of just jumped up and realized, okay, I mean, as we should get to the backside of the hill where we can have better cover. And I saw them and was able to kind of rejoin the scout team. And then we continued again we called for fire, we returned fire, we provided overwatch. But that was like I said, they'll give me grief for that, and I will remember that, you know, till the day I die, turning around and looking and seeing nobody there after, you know, as we were in this firefight, and wondering, you know, where did my guys go? Definitely an interesting experience. It's disorienting to some degree, but it's more frustrating. It's frustrating because you want to fire back. You don't want to fire randomly into a village or randomly, you know, into the woods. You want to fire back at something. You're not going to waste your ammunition. So it's just frustrating that you're not always able to fire back at somebody who obviously sees you. But that happens a lot in Kunar and a lot in Afghanistan in general.